Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to share with you a free worksheet and template I've created. It's a math worksheet for elementary school kids, so I use this myself for my two boys who are in grade school right now. And so it's got 22 pages I think on here. So we've got addition, subtraction, multiplication, we've got long division, we've got greater than, less than, equal operators, sorting things in ascending and descending order. Got patterns, rounding. In the last two pages here, I've got sort of a summary of basically a bit of everything. So if, you just want a 2-pager front and back that you can print out, have them work on. It serves that purpose. So there's not really any complexity to this spreadsheet. It's really utilizing random numbers. So I'm using the rand between function. So the beauty of this is, you have an endless supply of worksheets. Before we move on, I just wanted to say that if you like this template, you might also like the other templates I release periodically. Many of them are completely free, but some are only free for a limited time. This is my way of giving back to my subscribers. So if you don't want to miss out, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. By doing so, you'll be among the first to know when I drop a new Excel video. Now, let's get back to going over this template. Because all I need to do is, if I just click the delete button, it's going to recalculate all these. I don't like these numbers, I can recalculate them over and over and over again, right? So it's incredibly easy, an infinite number of work for your kids. If you so choose to give it to them. So you can see it starts out, simple. We've got single digit addition, subtraction. Here I've got a mix of addition and subtraction, just not so I don't make it too easy on them. Here we've got a mix of 2 digits and 1 digit. Same sort of thing. We've got pluses here, a page for minuses, and then a mixture of both. So I sort of set up that pattern here. Here we've got 2-digit addition, 2-digit subtraction, and again got a mix, got 3 digits, right? Same sort of thing. I didn't bother going to 4, but if you wanted to, if you feel comfortable making changes, you can see what I've done here. I've used the rand between function to say, get a random number between 100 and 999. So if you wanted to go to 4 digits, it could be as simple as changing this to 1,000, adding a number 9 here, and you've got your 4 digits, right? So you can do that if you feel comfortable doing that. The one tricky thing is if you're dealing with minuses and you don't want negative numbers, then, in this case, I've set the rand between so that the upper limit, the top limit is this top number. So that way, it's not a negative number. Now, if you do want it, obviously you don't have to put that restriction on there. I did it just for the sake of them not having to deal with negative numbers. But again, if you feel inclined to do so, you can make those changes in here. So it's nothing really terribly complicated in here. Same thing with these multiplication tables. Like here I've got random numbers again. Some of them have different ranges. Like here I've got these numbers hard coded just to do a little bit of everything. So 1 through 8. So these ones are fixed values, and again you can change these if you wanted to focus on different ones, whereas these ones are random between 1 and 5. So depending on their skill level, you may want to change these ranges a little bit, but obviously a lot of flexibility in how this works. Whereas this page, it's completely random. Here we've got, if you want to focus on specific times tables, like here it's gotten me the same one, 4 and 4, but if I hit delete, you'll see this is a 12 times table, practice all the way to 12 times 10. This is a 10 times table, right? So you can delete that, change it however you want. In this example, I've set everything is going to be that first number. So if you wanted them to test on the 7 times table, change this to a 7. All these are going to be 7s. Let's say this one should be an 8. All of them are going to be 8. So you can look at the formulas just to see how they work, and you can change them as you want. I've got this page for long division. I've intended to give them some space here just to do the work on the page. Here I've got a lot of practice for greater than, less than, and equal to calculations. So again, the idea is you put the operator in between and fill it in that way. Sorting numbers from smallest to largest. So the idea is, they look at these numbers and sort them in order on here. Here from largest to smallest. Again, these are all completely random numbers between 0 and 100. Here we've got patterns. So again, fill in the blanks sort of thing. Again, we've got random numbers in here. So everything obviously check to make sure that the patterns compute properly. So they're not all of these are not random here. So these are based on the starting points. So these are all patterns that they would fill in. Here we've got rounding questions. So rounding to 100, rounding tens. We've got that. And here we've got, you know, sort of our gauntlet, our 2-pagers to run through a little bit of everything. If you don't want to print out, let's say 10 sheets to focus on, you know, 10 different things, you could, you know, do something like this where you print out 2 pages, front and back, and that covers a bit of everything. So I intend to add to this file over time, you know, potentially fractions and more complex things. The spreadsheet's kind of grown over time as my boys have gotten older, and so I've needed to add more things to cover more topics and more difficult things. The one thing you may want to do, if you don't, I'm assuming you're not going to need every single page on here. So what you can do is if you go to the View tab and go to Page Break Preview, this can be helpful to figure out, okay, what sort of pages interest you, and you can, you know, either delete or hide them, and just print out what you need. And you also want to make sure you've got the margins set up correctly. I've already set them up so they're working properly on my printer, but you know, just make sure that they're correctly cutting off on yours as well. My goal was to have, you know, 2 sets of exercise on each side. So got one column here with some space to do some work. And yeah, so you've got that a pretty versatile template in terms of a lot of different content and exercises on here. So if, you know, you don't want this, you know, the easiest thing to do, you can just hide it, get rid of it. You could also delete it if you don't want to. Now, hitting the delete key, of course, is going to trigger recalculations, so just be wary of that a lot of these values are randomly generated, so they will recalculate fairly easily. So that's how this template works. Again, not terribly complicated. And you know, if you have any suggestions as to changes that you'd want to do, or content that you think might be useful to add to this, let me know in the comments. Other than that, hope you get a lot of use out of this, and enjoy the template. Thanks for watching today's video, and if you found it useful, don't forget to hit like and make sure to subscribe for more spreadsheet tips, tricks, and templates.